But you did a bunch of mega stuff. I mean,
I did. Yeah.
So I am curious about that because I feel like that movement's kind of, I don't know. It's just not what it was.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of mega. Bob's still flying the flag for sure. But someone like you who was on the cutting edge of that, and then you just kind of shifted your focus.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
was that because of the Olympics?
No, it wasn't because of the Olympics. I think it was just because the progression was really slow in mega, which makes sense. Like, it's so dangerous, right? Like, every time you pad out for mega, it's like you're risking it a lot, you know? So when because I competed mega from like 11 to 15. And at 15, I realized I'm like, you know,
11 on the mega.
Dude, I have the funniest like visuals of you coming up with your mouth guard.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, and also at the point, it's like, okay, if I want to win a mega, it's like I gotta like learn a 9, or I gotta like tray flip the gap, or like do something where it's like, okay, I have to like stand out, because at the time Bob and Elliot and Jake did Ollie 7. Remember that in Brazil?
Oh, across the gap.
Yes, like he did Ollie 7. So I was thinking like, okay, I can't really win in this. I enjoy it, but I kind of want to find something where I can like find my own niche. And at the time, I've skated street like my whole life. Like that was where I kind of got started. And I was still skating street. And at 15 or at 13, I was competing Tampa. I got third in Tampa Am. And I was like, okay, like I feel really good like competing in street. And that was when X Games at the Am stuff. And so I had an in there too. And I was like, okay, like Mega's kind of got to get put on hold. But I do really want to go back and skate.
I have these vivid memories of we're doing commentary, and the session is so gnarly. It's Bob and it's Danny and Jake, and everyone's just, you know, like coming up the elevator, and here comes Jagger, just like pad straps, you know, flying around, mouth guard, and everyone's just like up on the deck, and Jagger's like, "Is it my turn? Can I go? Is it cool?"
Not scared.
Like not scared, but also like weaving around people who are pondering their fate. Yeah. She's like, can I jump in now? Okay, is it cool? And I was just like, this is the craziest paradox.
I remember being in those contests, and like every now and then one of
like he wants to jump 60 feet right now. Yeah. You can't stop him.
Yeah, everybody else was like, this could be my final ride. Yeah. The eye contact is like like I'm there going, man, my whole life, you know, and I look up and someone's like, you know, like my whole life too, dude. And I'm like,
he's like, hey, squeezes around you to have his turn.
Yeah, I'm glad you weren't there for my era. I'd be like, what the? How is he? Hey, we're having a good time. I'm like, no, man, I'm probably going to die today. He's going
to take his mouth guard out to talk.
Wait, was it a double? Was it top and bottom?
Just top.
Okay.
Yeah, just top. Yeah.
Wait, did you get your mouth guard from MMA?
No, I never used a mouth guard for MMA.
What?
Yeah, I never used one for MMA. At least not until I was. Okay, I used one when I was 15, 16, because that was but when I was a kid and I had zero upper body strength, and like I was hitting, it's like,
and people weren't allowed to punch you in the face when you were a little kid, right?
Not too hard, no, not too hard. I mean, we still got punched in the face,
but not
that hard. Yeah. But I mean, Mega was just so fun, right? Like, I was this kid. I was this kid, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm competing mega with like my heroes. Like I watched Danny Way's DC video part was like I based my whole skateboarding off of like the technical.
But that's what I mean. In that era, it seemed super fun because no one had paid the price yet.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, and then Jake fell, and that kind of shifted the tone.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. But also everyone else, and you know, people started getting rocked. Kind of all at once. Well, right? I mean, you bounced off the coping.
Yeah. That was the first time I ever had 2 slams in one slam. Like, because I hit the coping, and I was like, I fell like 16 foot on an Indy 5. As soon as I grabbed my board and I was upside down, I knew I was over the deck. So I kicked my board out and started trying to wiggle around, and it stopped my spin. So I landed on my hip on the coping, and it was like, wham! And I was like, oh my... Like, I'm really hurt, and then all of a sudden I'm falling to the flat, and my feet start going over my head, and I'm like, wait, another one? More. And I'm like, and then I tuck to, like, go over and land on my back on the flat, like, we'll go again, and I'm like, okay, now I'm, like, double dead. How does that work?
Or like Danny catching his feet.
Dude.
And then flipping forward and then getting up and
Elliot hit the deck too.
I mean, you guys, like I weigh 90 pounds drenched in water. Like I was going
Sure, but
I was going 6 feet out of that bowl. I was going 6 feet out of that quarter pipe, fully pumping. Like I was going really slow.
Yeah, but you can still.
It was still definitely
because you're
dangerous,
that weight, if you had have hit the deck on a 6 foot air, you would have. I don't want to know what would happen.
Well,
to
I clipped my shins at the
11-year-old.
one. I clipped my shins at the one at Woodward. I clipped my shins hard and flew to flat.
I feel like that one wasn't vert.
No, I was. Or no, at the Woodward Mega. Like
I'm saying that I feel like that Woodward Mega one just wasn't vert. I saw so many people.
A lot of us
hang
clipped.
up. And,
Wow.
Yeah.
That is not cool.
It was
I never got close. The only time I got close to coping is when I completely landed on it. Oh no! One other time at
I
summer.
did the pencil in a couple times where
The what? You just scoots.
Yeah,
scooped
like
in?
I took off and I was like, oh, I'm over the deck, and then I just went straight like this to try to avoid. I didn't hit.
I looped out at the Summer X Games, but because I wobbled before I looped out, I backflipped over the deck and landed on my feet, kind of because they had the big mats.
Yeah,
there.
the mats. The mats were so useless.
But like I did
Well,
I did a little dip before I went up the transition, like whoa, and then went whoa, and I was like, oh no, and then backflipped, and I was like, I'm dead, for sure dead. And not only did I land on my feet, but I landed on giant foam padding.
I was gonna say you're the only one those pads saved because the pads didn't go to the coping.
Yeah, they were like 2 feet away from the
and
coping.
you were always hitting the coping.
Yeah.
Well, and also like, why would they be 6 inches from the coping? Like that's even more dangerous because then it's like you're thinking about, oh my god, like these mats are really close. Am I gonna hit the mat? Am I gonna
hang up 2 feet back from the deck?
They needed somebody there who's also a Mega Ram skateboarder who's in charge of the mats to be, and we all know that if we're going over the deck, there's like a safe like over the deck, and then you're good.
That's my safe word.
Panic.
Bad, real bad. And then somebody pushes that.
Okay, I got you.
Just like somebody's there all day, 6 hours a day, waiting for the word bad or real bad. Real bad? Got it. Like, dude, what about your stupid loop? Where you're gonna like when the loop's bad, put the mat in the loop.
There's no time.
And I'm like, how do you know? You know, like it's not.
Well, the funny thing too is that you have about like 15 feet. Like if there were 4 people up there at the mat.
Oh, dude, you could say it. I could have said it in that Indy 5. I could have said real bad, totally bad, so bad you don't even know. I could have said a whole sentence, dude.
You could have said everybody's name on top of the quarter pipe and been like, please put the mat. And they would have put the mat in.
The only reason none of us said that is because we knew that nobody was going to save us. But Danny could have said it.
I think my takeoff was a little bad, and I'm looking like I'm going to be over the deck
You
here.
could fully say that.
If someone could put a mat down, that would be really helpful.
I could have typed in my mum's phone number and said, Mom, help me.
Call my mom.
Yeah, called my mom,
I'm going to
dude.
slam.
Mom, I love you. That's it.
I was always worried too about like if you're going over 8 feet, if you were to just like pop out in the quarter pipe, right, and just like land on the deck, I was always worried about going through the deck.
Oh,
because it's just a piece of plywood up there.
I never thought of that.
Like I was always worried about just going up.
Yeah.
Like talking about your all-time backfires. You imagine going like, okay, I'm good, boom, and just going straight through the plywood. Oh man. Yeah, that ramp was dangerous.
That's the summary.
It was
of our
dangerous.
discussion.
Yeah.